Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Fantastics podcast. As usual, I'm here in the studio with Bubu and Renz. My name is Renz, and you know the show is always making sense because we are bringing you the best of football, the best of tactics, the best of banter, all across the world, down to Nigeria and beyond. How are you doing? I hope you're doing great. And as usual, we appreciate you for all your positive impact on our show. We see the numbers ramping up. We see your likes. We see your comments. We see your shares. And of course, we see, we see the blowback from those who feel like our hands are on their neck. But don't worry, it's just how the show is. If your club does better, then we don't have to, we don't have to go after you. We are not going after you, actually. We are just saying it as it is. We are just analyzing, we are just sharing our thoughts. And of course, once in a while, we give it to you. Banter for banter. Sabubu, how are you doing?
Well, the past week has been the international break where national teams have been playing. Africa had the Nations Cup qualifiers.
Yeah.
South America continued their marathon towards the World Cup in America, Canada, and Mexico. While the Europeans played their normal UEFA Nations League.
Yeah.
We all know it's just glorified friendly matches. A lot of good matches, good results.
Yeah.
Teams went away to win for the first time in 70 years. That's France versus Italy.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
It was amazing.
Was out of this world. Spalletti is doing something great for Italy.
I think so.
And I'm really impressed.
There was a lot of negative feedback after the Euros and stuff. And but Spalletti is a coach who has shown that he knows how to build teams, has them playing attacking football and playing expansively. So it was beautiful to watch. That was an amazing result for them. And it just puts them back on the radar as a team to watch out for. Remember, they also followed that up with a proper win against Israel. So
yesterday night.
Yeah, so that was amazing.
Same with Germany. You saw the new look German team and they were very fluid.
Yeah, they went
out
up.
hungry as if
they were hungry.
As if hungry annoyed them.
No, they went out hungry with hunger, as if they were hungry, and it was amazing. And a 5-0 result.
We saw that their coach style of football when he was at Bayern. That seamless football.
Yeah.
They just keep hitting you and it. I don't know, German coaches, I don't understand how.
No.
I think they're evolving now.
No, with German coaches, you always see them have this high energy, high tempo, counter attack, directness. The 1-2 passes they're in the opposition half, in the opposition box, and they're trying to get, isolate defenders one-on-one. And it's just amazing to see. The German coaches are also staking their claim now as one of the most.
Like 20-25 years ago, they were more of a defensive type of coaching style.
Yeah.
They call it the metal football, where they are very solid defensively. They hold on to the ball and they hit you. But right now they're expansive the way they play, which is very very important for football, especially for the fans, because most fans don't like defensive football. They just want you to get at each other.
Excitement.
Yeah, and they keep
excitement.
forgetting that tactics makes the game go round.
Yeah, no, football has evolved tactically, not just, and it's tactics actually. Yeah. The tactics reflect the playing style, so that's how it has been. So other results, in CONMEBOL, Argentina won 3-0 against Chile.
They are top of the standings now.
Yeah, and then Brazil, they went away to Ecuador.
They won 1-0.
But
this is the worst Brazilian team I've seen
in a long time,
in like 2-3 decades.
Actually, the problem there, I think they have not been able to figure out the coaching department.
Yes.
Because the squad is not as untalented as it may seem. If you look at this, they have a lot of talented players playing at high-level clubs.
The problem Brazil had, I pray England does not have that problem now. Brazil wanted to appoint Carlo Ancelotti. There was already a deal on ground. So they had an interim coach that was in charge of the team for a while. Results were either here or there. And I don't know what happened. And Ancelotti signed a contract extension
with Madrid.
With Real Madrid. He would have been the first foreigner to ever coach Brazil. And that didn't really help them. And they were having players that were coming in injured, going out. Because if you look at it, Neymar is actually the star of that team. Once he's not there, the team cannot really gel the way it's supposed to be, because he's like the leader of the team.
But I think that's a coaching problem, because they don't lack for stars. Vinicius is somebody who could hold down
that. They don't have the kind of coaches they used to have before, like the Dungas of this world, the Felipe Scolaris.
So that's their problem, I think, because Argentina also played around until they landed on Scolani, and
Scolani was just like a stopgap.
Yeah, you understand. So the person might not be an exotic name because Scaloni was also coming from the under 21s about. So the person might not really be a star name, as Lee Castley is doing at England now.
One thing about a country that has a good football structure and good organization structure. The guy that coaches under 21 has seen those boys pass through.
True. Yeah.
See them grow in the game. They have that relationship because at under 21 level, you spend more time with the coach than actually at the national level. That was why it was easy for Southgate, because Southgate had known all these guys when he was in England. Yeah. And that is what the present coach of England, that's the interim coach. Yeah. Because we all know that England wants Pep.
Yeah.
So they are praying he doesn't sign a contract extension
at City.
Because that is what is on ground. He has been given the job. He has been asked, name your price. Look at Spain. You see the coach that is there.
So De La Fuente also came from under 21s, and he's transitioned well.
It works better for the national team when the players are still in that system growing.
Okay. So
because the players tend to have a lot. They have that respect for you. You give them that actual
breakthrough moment, pathway.
So it's like that.
Yeah. So that's okay. So does that also apply, or do you think it should apply to England? Lee Castley has been with the under 21s. He has actually taken them across the trophy hurdle, and they have won the cup.
Lee Castley is an Irishman.
and there was a lot of talking points about the fixture in Dublin, where he refused to sing the England national anthem, and there was a lot of blowback. But he says he has not been singing it since he was a player, even when he was playing for Ireland, even when he was a coach with the under 21. So there shouldn't be any hassle about it. But aside that, England got a very good result. They played beautifully well.
And they played tonight,
very beautiful football against Ireland. So in contrast to the very dour football that we watched under Southgate, and then you see somebody from the under 21s.
Let me ask you a question.
Do you think he deserves the job?
Was Southgate a success in England?
Statistically, yes. Aesthetically, no.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So let's move on from that. So some other results that were notable within this time period also included Portugal's victory over Croatia, where CR7, one of the GOATs,
netted his 900th
netted his 900th goal. He also proceeded in the next fixture against Scotland to score his 901st off the bench in the 88th minute, rescuing his team from a draw. Also, France, like you said, France lost to Italy at home, and
for the first time
in a long time.
70 years.
70 years. Wow, that was amazing. The Netherlands picked up a 5-2 victory over Bosnia and Herzegovina. Germany 5-0 Hungary, and then for the AFCON qualifiers, we saw some statement results from the usual big weeks. Ivory Coast picked up a 2-0 win over Zambia. Egypt 3-0 over Cape Verde. Morocco 4-1 over Gabon. And then they later also won at Lesotho 0-1. Cameroon.
The match that really got me was Ghana losing at home to Angola.
So, coaching. You just put together some stars.
I still wonder why they fired Chris Hutchins after the Nations Cup.
Well, some of these African football federations, you never can tell with them. And that's why a lot of times foreign coaches don't work here, because the environment is crazy. Let's not go into that. We'll just move on. So, our own Super Eagles, beautiful job in you against.
I tell people that if it was a guy from Europe or South America that won that match, I can tell you what the headlines will say. But our own brother, Uncle Austin Ekwabo, came again to rescue us.
Yeah.
And they just said, it's Bennett. But the same Bennett trashed us a couple of months ago.
Indeed. I think We'll go for a short break. When we come back, we'll dive into more about the Nigerian results, the Nigerian fixtures, all about the national team in the Eagles Watch segment, where we'll get to talk further on that. Don't go anywhere.
Okay, welcome to the Fantastics podcast. We're going to talk about the Super Eagles. They beat Republic of Benin.
Yeah.
3-0. A lot of people said good result, but nobody wants to talk about the person that handled that match, because it was a Guavon, then the coach of Remo Stars, and the coach of Enugu Rangers.
Yeah.
Because those are the two top coaches we have in the country presently that are doing good things because they've been there for 2-3 years.
Yeah.
What pattern did the Eagle play? Did they go back to the normal wing play or the normal diamond formation? What did you see in that match?
Well, with the Super Eagles lately, both under Raw and under Pesiero, the football was a little conservative.
Yeah.
We were always
try not to concede.
We're always reactive. The football was not proactive, but was reactive. I think it was both as a matter of necessity and as a philosophy, because if you observe Guavon's interventions in the Eagles, I always call it interventions because it's whenever we are in trouble, whenever we are lost, whenever we are in limbo, we always run to him.
But there's something you need to understand about Guavon. First of all, Guavon is a staff of NFF.
Yeah.
He's the director of he's a director.
Okay.
In the NFF, so he's a coach, so he can be called upon at any time.
No, but like I said, it's always an interventionist mission. Why is he not considered for the job, but always intervening? So that's aside. That's aside, okay. Really. So let's not go into that. But like I said, if we observe his interventions into the Eagles, you always see his Eagles team playing expansive football, possession-based football. Sometimes they don't get the results in the matches that might have mattered, but there's a pattern to his game. You see, they control the match. They are always on the front foot. They want to get at the opponent. And, as a matter of necessity, the past results, both friendlies and qualifiers, have not been edifying. It has not been, it has been nothing to excite the Eagles fans about. So I think as a matter of necessity, they had to go out on the front foot and, give Benin a run for their money and to ensure that they are going for the 3 points. And that's something I think they did beautifully well. The midfielders, the defenders, everybody was, well organized, evidenced by not conceding a goal, although there were some close calls. But you watch that game and you feel like, yes, Nigeria for once controlled a game that they looked like they determined the outcome, not by by chance but by how they played the game. And that was a positive for Guavon, a positive for our own coaches. I won't call them local coaches. They're all coaches. So that was a good one for us.
And they utilized the wings in that match a lot.
Yes,
which was
of course. It was evident. Chukwueze and Lukman were very, very involved in the game. But it was not just the wings, because I know Boniface spawned a lot of chances, but even then, the strikers, you also noticed that the link-up play was quite excellent. So that was a good one for Guavon. Which leads me to, to what I was saying earlier. Why intervening? Why run to him when the team is in trouble? Does he not deserve an opportunity to, lead the Eagles?
Initially was when he came in after Raw was fired for the Nations Cup.
Yeah.
When he won his three good matches, and people were saying Nigeria were the favorite, and he was caught napping by Tunisia in the round of 16. He was already being considered for that job until that fiasco that happened in Abuja, the World Cup playoff against Ghana.
Yeah.
You went to Kumasi, you played fantastically well, 1-1. No, it was new, funny enough.
Yeah.
Then he came back to Abuja, and
there was a collapse.
I don't really know what happened in that match. Ghana were there for the taking. And after that, he wasn't considered for the job again, because it was obvious they wanted to give him a contract as a coach, apart from being he's the technical director. I remember now, he's the technical director of the NFF. that was why he lost that particular position. And Nigerian fans didn't help it. They went on Twitter, they insulted him. They dragged his family. So I know Nigerians can be very, we can be extra. We want to go extra on social media.
Yeah, we can be. So what's the way forward?
Let's see how it goes, because I can tell you for a fact that NFF cannot afford the kind of coach Nigeria deserves.
Oh,
not desires.
Okay,
they cannot afford it. I can tell you for a fact they can't.
So what caliber of coaches are we talking about here?
Okay, let me give you an example. Renard of France.
Yeah,
he's there
for the taking.
His contract just finished because he was the coach of the French female.
Yeah,
but Nigeria cannot pay him. Because the exchange rate, first of all, is not even helping matters. Because those guys Renard will earn in euros.
Or in dollars. Yeah.
How much does the NFL generate, first of all? Football is big business around the world.
But let's be honest. You look at the budgets allocated for sports, you look at the sponsorships. Do you think the problem is not being able to pay those coaches?
There's always a budget, and there's supposed to be funds to fund that budget.
No, I don't think those guys are cash strapped. If we go into that's not where we want to deviate into.
The bottom line is they're not generating enough money the way they're supposed to generate money.
Oh,
that's the NFF. Look at the English FA. Look at the other FA. See the way they generate money. Even the sponsors in Nigeria are scared to put money in NFF because they feel the money will not get to where it's supposed to go.
So that's the problem, and that's why I was saying I wouldn't want us to go there. So moving on from that, so Sabubu has said that Nigeria cannot afford to get a coach with desire. That's one for the glass house to think about. Can we qualify for the World Cup? With this momentum that we have generated.
Well, let's play Rwanda tonight first. This afternoon.
Yeah, in Kigali.
That because presently we are playing Nations Cup qualifiers.
Yeah, I know. But now, you're looking at the long term. You're looking at
if this team continues the way they are
the
playing,
trajectory.
Trust me. And they have the belief and they know that I won't say they messed up. Things didn't don't work out the way it was supposed to work out. We know we're still going to go back to. After this match, we're still going to play Rwanda 3 more times.
Yeah.
A return on the Nations Cup. Then we have to play double headers with them in the World Cup. We still have South Africa to play. Either in Johannesburg or Durban. Only God knows where they're going to play those matches. We have Benin still coming down here. We still have to play in Zimbabwe. So it should take every match like a cup final now.
Yeah, I think that's the attitude that will get us to the altitude that we desire. Talking about altitude is going to be crazy in Kigali, but we wish the Super Eagles the best and we hope they get the job done.
Since yesterday, right?
Yeah.
So they might have acclimatized to the ground.
It's not that easy.
Most teams, what they do is they come the day of the match, they play and they get out.
Oh, it's not going to be easy anyways, but we wish the Eagles the best of luck. They are going to soar over every obstacle. So last but not the least, Victor Osimhen came back into the team, and just to prove his importance, although he didn't need to prove anything.
A lot of people were thinking he will start, but people failed to realize that Osimhen didn't have a preseason.
Yes.
They have not even played a very competitive match.
Yeah.
And I like the way Gbagbo handled it. Came in second half. And from what the feelers ahead was, even that goal they've been practicing.
Yeah, in his interview, he said they practiced a couple of times in training. And so it's beautiful to see that, there is a tactical pattern. They are practicing routines, set piece routines, corner routines, and all that. So
trust me.
Let's see how it goes. Bravo to the Super Eagles. Good job, and we hope to see more and better from our stars. Ademola Lookman, let's not forget to give him his flowers. He has not gotten off the mark for his club this season, but
do you think he's a contender for African football?
I don't think there's anybody that I know the likes of Salah got a couple of goals. I know the likes of Tapsoba, the Nations Cup winners and stuff, but let's not take anything away from Ademola Lookman. He has been sensational.
If he keeps scoring from now till December, then he will likely be the number 1 candidate for the African Football of the Year.
Well. like you say, football it can be passive sometimes. Your achievements might be gone in the moment. So we hope he keeps up his levels and he can get over the line. But I think he deserves it. He has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
Has been phenomenal. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we'll still step out for a moment. We are not stepping out, but we go for a short break. And when we come back, we'll be looking at the games that are going to be coming this weekend. And we are just going to be looking at a few of the talking points. And we dive in when we are back from the break. Don't go anywhere.
Okay, welcome back. We have a lot of fixtures this weekend in Italy, Spain, France, England,
Germany. Yeah.
We start with League One.
Yeah. So I think in League One we have Marseille versus Nice. We have Auxerre versus Monaco. PSG versus Brest. What are you looking at for those fixtures?
Well, De Zerbi will continue his good work. For Marseille, they're going to beat Nice. It's going to be a straight win.
Okay.
They'll score more than one or two goals, so I'm very sure about that.
All right.
Then for PSG, who's Brest? It's a straight win for PSG.
It's a straight
win.
Lot
of goals in that match.
Okay. So what of Nantes versus Reims?
Well, those teams can be low scoring, they can be high scoring.
Yeah.
So you can't really trust them.
Yeah.
So let's say a draw.
Okay.
Or 2 goals in that match.
Okay. Lens versus Lyon.
Lyon started badly, but I think they started picking up. I see goals in that match, both sides to score.
Okay, we go to the Bundesliga where we have Leipzig versus Union Berlin.
Leipzig will beat Union Berlin. They stopped.
Yeah,
Bayern Leverkusen's
unbeaten run last time out,
and now they have picked.
They have been on a 13-match unbeaten run.
They can be a very funny team at times.
Yeah.
When you expect them to win some matches,
yeah,
they tend to lose it, but they will win.
Okay, so we have Hoffenheim versus Leverkusen. Do you see Leverkusen bouncing back?
Yes.
Okay.
Straight win for Leverkusen.
Mönchengladbach versus Stuttgart. Another tricky fixture. Yeah. So Bayern will be away at Holstein Kiel.
Wow.
So
a lot of goals.
Okay, a lot of goals. You heard Sabubu there. We go to Serie A where we have Empoli versus Juventus on Saturday. AC Milan versus Venezia. So
I'm very sure this is when Milan will win their first match.
Are you sure?
They will beat Venezia.
Okay, so
because
how about
the international break came well for them. For Juventus, slim win for them.
Okay. On Sunday, we have our own Ademola Lookman in action for Atalanta against Fiorentina.
Atalanta will win the match. They would win it.
Okay. Can I put my money on that?
They would win the match.
Okay. Genoa versus Roma.
Wow, a draw.
About Monza will be hosting Inter.
Monza is a very difficult team to play at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are kind of team that they go all out. They don't even care about defending. Most of their matches last season used to end 2-2, 3-3. Yeah. Even when you are beating them, they keep scoring.
Yeah.
But Inter will win the match.
Okay.
Very slim victory, but
okay, wonderful. So that's for Monday. We have our own Fisayo Dele Bashiru out for Lazio versus Verona.
Lazio is playing at the Olympico, right?
Yeah.
Lazio will win the match. A straight win for Lazio.
So we are going to move on to La Liga, where we have some very interesting fixtures this weekend. We have Senior Man and Chidera Ejuke out versus Getafe.
That's Sevilla versus Getafe.
Sevilla versus Getafe.
That match, I don't know the level of what Sevilla might have done in this international break, but they started really poor.
Yeah.
This season.
Yeah.
Maybe this might just be a turning point for them. In this match.
Okay, so you will be looking at a reaction.
Yeah, a reaction and a likely Sevilla win. A slim victory.
Okay. So we have Real Madrid visiting Sociedad.
Wow.
So that's another tricky fixture for the champions to
at San
navigate.
Sebastian.
Yeah.
That match is going to be very tricky. It's going to be very close.
Okay.
I see Real Madrid winning it by slim goal.
By a slim margin.
Yeah, either 1-0 or 2-1.
Okay.
But Real Madrid is going to score in that match. Something I can assure everybody.
Okay, so on to Sunday where we'll be having one of the Catalan derbies. Girona will be hosting Barcelona. What do you think about that match? These are two teams who are looking very lively this season.
Is Girona based in Barcelona or Madrid?
Oh, Girona. I think it's Barcelona.
Guayana Espanyol is based in Barcelona.
Yeah, Girona is also a Catalan team.
Okay. Who is at home?
Girona is at home. It's a tricky one, right?
It's a tricky fixture, but both sides to score.
Okay. I'll go out on a limb and say I still expect Barcelona to get a victory. They are looking really impressive.
There are going to be goals in that match. Barcelona would likely win the game, but Girona will score.
Okay. So we take it from Sabubu, and then we have Atletico Madrid at home to Valencia. That's the last match to round off the La Liga.
Atletico will win the match. It'll be a straight win for them.
Okay, wonderful. And we are going to proceed now to the Premier League, the EPL, where we have a lot of talking points. But first of all, let's rattle through the fixtures so you know what to expect and when. On Saturday, we have the early kickoff, Southampton hosting Manchester United at St. Mary's. That's 12:30. What do you think about that game? Make or break for Eric Ten Hag?
Manchester United.
Is that where I laugh?
No, not laugh.
Okay.
The match is going to be very tough. I say United victory. I don't know why, but I say United victory.
Do you think anything other than a victory could spell the end for?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I know. Ineos came out with a statement to back Ten Hag.
It's still too early to talk about the coach position.
Do you think so?
Yes, just 3 matches.
I always feel like if the management have to, or the owners, the ownership have to come out to issue a statement backing the manager, is because the manager's position is already under threat.
Because the press is not helping matters in England.
Do you think it's just the press,
it's the press
or the fans?
No, the press stirs the fans.
Okay.
I always say this.
No, but the fans are in the stadium.
See, they're in the stadium. They can shout from now till tomorrow.
Yeah.
Once it doesn't get to the press, it won't get to the owners.
You think so?
Yes.
The owners are in the ownership box.
The press owns the world. Let us just try and accept it.
No, of course. I don't deny that the press can,
And one of United's biggest problem are their former players. Who became terrible coaches and fantastic pundits.
Terrible coaches.
No, it's true.
No, that's I'll consider that.
See, there's that entitlement mentality.
Yeah.
That they have.
No, I think it's not an entitlement mentality. They were used to a winning Manchester United.
That level has passed.
No, that's what you want. You have to keep the standard.
Let me tell you something. I always say it. When Abramovich was there, Chelsea were winning. They were a winning machine.
Yeah.
Now they've accepted the reality and they're rebuilding.
They are not accepting it.
See, Chelsea fans in England, we are just very fans here. We are shouting. The actual people in England know that they are going through a rebuilding process.
No, the fact with knowing is different from accepting. No. The fans still want to win, and that's why there are always a lot of issues with sack the coach. They are not winning.
See, you sack the coach and bring him home.
No. You don't get the point. I'm saying it's not about whether the reality of the building process is not visible to the fans, you get, but it's about their acceptance of it. Like I said, there's a standard that Manchester United has been held to. Serial winners. What Manchester City is doing now is what they have grown experience to
the truth of the matter is, they are far away from it.
No, of course.
But I mean,
don't get me wrong.
Even in Liverpool is closer.
No, that's what I'm saying. So, if you were part of those teams, you'll be expecting to see your team at the top competing for those teams, and that's the problem.
Expectations is where the problem starts from.
Yeah, so you are saying that you reduce the expectations.
Big time.
After spending that amount of money. Okay, so now
about that team that spend much more than that.
Of course, we'll get there. So now what you're saying is, even with a loss to the bottom team in the EPL right now, a team that's not gotten any points.
That's why I'm making you understand that United will not lose that much.
Okay.
It's something I know they won't lose that much.
Okay.
Because, see, when you start, you're now 6-7 points ahead of the team you are possibly chasing.
Yeah.
And those ones are just firing, going, and you're just there. Psychologically, it starts affecting the team, the mood in the stadium and all.
Yeah.
So they need to win that, but they will win it.
Okay, wonderful. We have Man City hosting Brentford at the Etihad.
The Brentford has always been an Achilles heel for City, but they will beat this particular Brentford squad.
Yeah,
is not as strong as the Brentford squad of before.
Okay, so top flying Brighton will be hosting Ipswich.
Straight win for Brighton.
For Brighton.
Sure.
Okay. Aston Villa versus Everton.
Everton can score, but they can't defend.
Okay.
Aston Villa has not won a game at home yet.
Yeah.
So this will likely be their first home victory.
All right. So to round off the day at 8 p.m. will be Bournemouth versus Chelsea.
Bournemouth versus Chelsea. There's going to be a lot of goals in that match.
Okay.
And I don't know the Chelsea squad that will come out on that day.
Okay.
That's just the truth. Chelsea will likely win that match or a draw.
Okay.
But I don't see Bournemouth beating them.
I remember you referencing, you know, another team that spent a lot of money. Do you think the patience that has been afforded Enzo Maresca will begin to thin if Chelsea don't get a good or positive result?
First of all, we don't even know who's going to fire him.
Okay, talking about the instability behind the scenes at Chelsea right now, I think that's another thing that is what spotlighting upon. It's crazy.
So the guy has a long time to do anything he needs to do
because the boardroom is not united.
Yes, that's it.
It's crazy because I, as a Chelsea fan, I always say it. I lay the blame for the mess at Chelsea now, not with the owners, but with the English Parliament per se. They politicized the sale of Chelsea, and that made it a process that didn't really bring out who was best for the club sporting wise. They just wanted to look for an ideal political entity, somebody that was politically correct to buy the club, and it just goes to show how far the club has fallen, or how far the club has fallen goes to show that decision wasn't really an ideal one. But like you said, Enzo Maresca finds himself in a very unique position where, due to the instability in the boardroom, he might have a little more time. But like I said, in England, things can turn sour in a moment, so he needs to get his act together. And then we move on to the Sunday fixtures, where the first North London derby of the season is going down. It's an interesting one because, to put in context, Arsenal have been, I'll call it, significantly weakened by the loss of Calafiori. He left the Italian camp after a freak injury in their first fixture.
Has a statement been issued
against France? No. So initially, Spalletti said it was not as bad as was feared, but he had to return to North London for assessments and for management, so he didn't participate in their next fixture. So that might probably be something you would be worried about, because if he were nothing, he wouldn't have left the Italian camp. So that's another thing. And then most significantly, because Calafiori can be replaced, but somebody like Martin Odegaard, who is the captain, the leader, and the most mercurial midfielder in the Premier League, or one of the most mercurial midfielders in the Premier League, it will be very difficult for Arsenal to replace him. He walked off in tears. Not just walked off, he walked off in tears.
He's supposed to be back to London. Austria. He's supposed to be back to London today.
Yeah,
so they'll do some scans and they will now determine if it's as serious as it looks.
Okay, but
Declan Rice was sent off, so Arteta will need to juggle his team.
As an Arsenal fan and as a Fantactics pundit, what do you think are Arsenal's options? How do you think they can get around not having Odegaard line up for them against a very, very expansive Tottenham side?
Timber will come in for Calafiori, so we know that is settled. For the midfield, Arteta will need to juggle. Maybe you have to just go more defensive and play on the counter attack.
Okay.
Because a Vieira that should have played for
is out on loan
to Porto. Moreno that came in, he said he has a shoulder injury. We don't know if it's because of the international break. Let's see if he will suddenly wake up and they'll say the injury has gone.
Yeah.
The coach knows how he will go about it.
Oh, okay.
But it's the same old Arteta. He will get away around it and pick a team that can play,
that can compete.
Yes.
You think Arsenal can get a result?
I'm looking at the draw in that match.
Okay. And then to round off the competition, we have Wolves versus Newcastle at 4:30. Don't forget, we'll be back next week to give you the best of the analysis and the talking points for these results. The Fantastics podcast is always your go-to place, and we appreciate the fact that you are always sticking with us from the beginning to the end of the show. Don't forget to like, to follow us, to subscribe to our various channels across social media. We are on YouTube, we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram. So don't forget to search for the Fantastics podcast if you haven't yet, and then you like and you subscribe to our videos. Share to your friends, share to your family. Feel free to engage us. The discussion is open to everybody. If you disagree with our opinions, the context of our discussions, you could always let us know on our social media handles, and we always will be happy to respond to any of your concerns.
And on our next episode, we're going to talk about the Champions League.
Oh, yes.
Because next week the Champions League starts, so we'll do a breakdown of some of the significant fixtures that will be played for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we'll tell you how the format is. Same with Europa and
we actually promised to do that this week, but due to the fixtures and the time constraint, and of course since the Champions League is next week, we elected to do that next week.
So thank you for following us, thank you for subscribing, thank you for the thumbs up. We see all your comments, we appreciate you, and next week we'll be back again. Have a blessed week.